Here we are with another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, the midweek edition. It's the 19th day of September 2018. Hope you had a good Wednesday, everyone. Let's get right to it this evening. We've got plenty to talk about over the next few days. As we've been discussing, Friday could be a little bit bumpy with some pretty nice weather. Until that point, boy, it was a nice one today. We had some sneaky pre-dawn showers. Did not register anything at the airport, but some parts of Mahoning and Columbiana County in particular got clipped by just a little bit of rain this morning, but with a good deal of sun. 79 was the high temperature at the airport this afternoon. Not quite as warm as yesterday. We got to 84, I think, yesterday. About 5 degrees shy of that today. And again, we were not alone in the above average temperatures today. Even though it was a cooler day, it was still warmer than average. Our average is 71 here on the 19th day of September. Those averages, as I've been saying, they fall quickly at this time of the year. Some cool air up across the northern plains states, northern parts of the Great Lakes, and up into parts of New England, but the rest of the region, pretty warm. All right, I'm recording this at 7:09 p.m., and it's going to be another great sunset out there this evening. Maybe I'll post a time-lapse of the sunset. I've got my cameras in Boardman, Youngstown, and Niles trained on the sun this evening to capture some time-lapses. You know, east 224 east and west, that's pretty much a due east-west route. So as we go towards the equinoxes in March and in September, the sunrise and the sunset almost lines up exactly with 224. It is blinding trying to go west towards Poland away from Boardman. And anywhere west, if you're heading out of the Canfield area and heading over towards Berlin, Ellsworth, you know, it's a blinding drive at this time of the year because the sun is almost lining up right along the roadway. So it's going to set like right here, but in a few days it'll almost set right over Route 224 as autumn gets underway this weekend. All right, across the U.S., here's where the active weather is. Southwest, actually. Some showers and thunderstorms around Phoenix and Albuquerque and Flagstaff this evening up towards Denver. We've got some inclement weather in a few spots in the upper Midwest. That's about it. The weather pattern fairly quiet across most of the country. It's also a pretty warm pattern in most of the country with some exceptions. No surprise. Northern Plains, Northern Rockies, some of the cool spots. This is the beginnings of the air mass that's heading our way in time for the weekend. Another winter coming up on Thursday, partly to at times mostly sunny sky. A little more of a southerly breeze will allow temperatures to warm, will allow dew points to start to rise. It's going to be a pretty steamy day overall on Thursday. Let's start talking a little bit about Friday. All right, we've got a strong cold front heading our way. We've got a gusty west to southwest wind ahead of this. It's going to be fairly windy at times on Friday, even outside of any thunderstorms. And we've got showers and storms lining up along that front. Now, it's going to take a while for these to get here. Good news and bad news on that. Good news in that the later we get into some of this, the lower the severe weather chances are because we'll be past the peak heating of the day. Bad news if you're planning on taking in a high school football game Friday evening. We could be dealing with not only some rain, but some thunder and lightning, which might lead to some localized delays. This will pass through, and then we'll dry things out late Friday night. Now, Saturday, this looks like just a dead cloudy day, right? Well, not really. I think it's just kind of one of those milky sunshine kind of days. Most of this will be a high deck of clouds, making the sky just a little bit kind of milky overhead. But these will not be rain-producing clouds, and it will be a sharply cooler day on Saturday. All right, when we talk about the amount of instability in the air, the ability for air parcels to rise, the higher they rise, the faster they rise, the taller the clouds can get, and the more chances for thunderstorms and even some severe weather. As you can see, by the time these thunderstorms might be moving through, our instability is not terribly high. Again, we're heading into the evening and even an hour after sunset here at 8:07. And so that's a strike against a big severe weather situation unfolding. So that would be some good news. One thing we don't have really going for us here is wind energy. There's plenty of that in the atmosphere. Now, the instability is lacking a little bit, but not far above our heads. Again, it's going to be windy here at the ground, but not far above our heads up at the 5,000 foot level. You know, we're going to be talking about some wind speeds Friday evening in this purplish color up to 50 miles per hour. So these storms and showers don't have to get very tall to start harnessing some of that wind energy, not that far up in the atmosphere, and bring it down to the surface. So yeah, we're concerned about some damaging wind possibilities with our storms here on Friday evening. I have 5 to 9 as kind of the prime time here. Might have to adjust this as we get a little closer. It's possible. A lot of places we'll see the rain closer to 9 than 5, but this is my opening bid here on the severe weather outlook for Friday. I mentioned flash flooding here. These storms will be moving along pretty quickly. That being said, the atmosphere is going to be real juicy on Friday. A lot of moisture in the air, so these things can be efficient rain producers in areas of poor drainage could briefly have kind of a tough time. So again, stay up on the latest forecasts if you're planning on taking in a high school football game this week, this Friday, I should say. The Storm Tracker 21 app. If you scroll down on the homepage, you'll find you'll find this graphic. In fact, the high school football forecast, and we'll have frequent updates on that as we get a little closer to Friday evening. All right, longer range trends. We only need about 0.6 of an inch to make it the wettest September on record. I think we'll probably get there because we've got a few days where I think rain's pretty likely early next week. Monday, especially Monday afternoon, Tuesday, and perhaps even Wednesday as well. Should be enough to put us over the top. But beyond that, the story is going to start really becoming, hey, it's autumn all of a sudden. We're going to get into a much cooler pattern as we round out September and head into October. I don't think frost is necessarily all that likely at this stage of the game, but high temperatures maybe for several days in a row, 60, low 60s. That's not crazy far below average, but it is a distinct pattern change after a very, very warm September. So we're going to get into some true autumnal weather, it looks like, as we round out September and head into the first week of October. Will that pattern hold for a lot of October? There's some reason to believe that the answer to that is yes. It's not often we have a cool October after a very warm September, but some of the modeling out there has that idea. So we'll talk a little more about October in future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks. In the meantime, have a great Wednesday night, everyone, and thanks for watching.